I like trains.
Hello everyone, and welcome to this very special video. Now yes, my voice is back, but that's because I'm recording this in July and not April 26th. But I can say that having that sickness with no voice and bronchitis, laryngitis, all that, oh, it was not fun. And it lasted almost a month, but fortunately, I have been free of it for about a month now. And by this time this video is up, it will be about 2 months. So that's just part of being a human being, you know. We all get sick at some point. So with that out of the way, let's talk about this video. So today's video is going to feature a steam locomotive that I have yet to feature on my channel, and that is the Nickel Plate Road 765. The 765 was built in Lima, Ohio, in September of 1944, so it's nearly 81 years old. And the 765 today lives in Fort Wayne, Indiana, at the Fort Wayne Railroad Historical Society. Now, while that's where it sits, it doesn't just sit there the whole year. A few times during the year, maybe even more than a few times, the 765 gets sent out on excursions. And one of those excursions, which happens annually, is called Steam in the Valley. The 765 from Fort Wayne gets transported east on Norfolk Southern and Wheeling and Lake Erie, all the way to around Cleveland, Ohio. The official town is Independence. And in Independence, that is where the Cuyahoga Valley Scenic Railroad runs. And it runs through the Cuyahoga Valley National Park and Cuyahoga Falls area. And this event's called Steam in the Valley because the 765 runs through the Cuyahoga Valley, because it's literally a valley, as you will see in this video. And the event usually happens around late April, early May, and it happens like Friday through Sunday. I think it's 2 weeks of that. And what's cool is right before and after that happens, the 765 leads a train on the Wheeling Lake Erie, so there were a lot of rail fans out for that. I was not, because I was doing some other important things, but I had a free Saturday, so I was like, hey, let's take advantage of it. So I was very glad to see the 765, as you will see in this video. Now, a little bit about the chase. I caught this train in a few spots. First at the station in Independence, Ohio, and from there, the 765 would make a bursting appearance, going through the railroad crossing and arriving at the station after backing up. They didn't have to run it forward. They could have just backed it up into the station, but why not? When you have a big steam locomotive, like, let's make a grand entrance into the station. So that's exactly what the CVSR did. From there, we caught it in another location, and then after that, we caught it in a spot where the 765 did what's called run-bys, which is basically the train goes through, it parks, then it goes backwards so that it is not visible, and then it goes through again, but this time a lot faster, basically track speed, just so that people can get a video of it or just watch it go by or take pictures or whatever. But yeah, it sat there for a while, and I was able to get some shots of the 765. I got a selfie with it, which you will not see in this video, but it's all good. And then from there, I caught it in a few other locations. So I will say, for the first time chasing the Cuyahoga Valley Scenic Railroad, which is a good railroad even when there isn't a steam locomotive, because they have old ALCO locomotives, which kind of look like EMDF 7s. They have the same cab and all that. I believe they're called EPA 4s or something like that. It's probably wrong, but it's correct in the description, so I promise you that. But yeah, the railroad is pretty cool. But like I said, for the first time chasing, it wasn't bad. But it was a big challenge because there were so many people out. And, I mean, can you blame them? It's a steam locomotive. I mean, come on. Even people who don't usually rail fan were out for that. So, anyways, the chase wasn't perfect. There were some spots that I didn't get to, but it's all good. There was one spot, it was actually at the very beginning, where an older gentleman accidentally got into my shot, and I asked him, to get out of my shot. It may have not been the nicest, but I don't know. I was kind of in a I was kind of in the recording mode, and I didn't really like it. But so that was kind of on me. So I apologize to whoever that was. It's really not that huge of a deal, especially because 765 was not passing at the moment. But anyways, enough of that. This is a long intro. So you're going to see a lot of spots and a lot of cool videos of 765. I will say, though, I recommend not watching this video on full volume. Unless you want to, because 765's whistle is extremely loud. The loudest whistle or horn that I have ever heard, and maybe ever. But it sounded great. So, anyways, I think that's all I have for the intro. I know it's long, but you can skip around. I don't really care. The information on the locations will be located in the timestamps, because I figured having that in the way of the video with the steam locomotive would kind of be a distraction. I know that I do that with other videos, but I'm doing it a little bit differently here. So, anyways, thank you all again. I really appreciate your support on this channel. And, well, here's a treat for you, as you're going to see a video, a very special one, of the Nickel Plate Road 284 steam locomotive on the Steam in the Valley event. So sit back, relax, grab some popcorn if you like, or something like that, doesn't matter, and enjoy the video. Idiot.
Hey, you're in my shot. Dude, you're directly in my shot. You're still in my shot. Now that's what you call blown off steam.
Did you have yours in? You want more?
You have more? Okay.
should have brought your plugs.
Yeah. That's heading back that way.
Then it's gonna go back again. We're only gonna wait for this run by though.
Look at that steam coming up.
Chris, you gotta step back a little bit or get down, please.
He was slight, huh?
It is. Left it on just a minute longer.
Yep. All that steam.